Let me introduce you, novices, to a new concept, or at least one most people aren't familiar with: survival walking. Now, there aren't any. I looked at what's out there. How can I make this basic course, which is for free, the best course on the planet? What can I offer that is directly related to the four essential survival principles? And survival walking is the perfect candidate. Keeping in mind, I want to ensure that this survival course, the basics course, is fully professional and geared only to an appropriate scope. So I don't want it to go outside the parameters of those four essentials or the spirit of survival, whilst at the same time giving you that edge which other survival schools don't teach. Not to take anything away from them, there are some great survival schools. I mean, David Canterbury, even though he loves his fucking bushcraft, you can't go wrong with him. He will point you to the right direction. And if you aren't pointed to the right direction, you're doing something wrong. And then you've got people in Australia like not Bushcraft Academy, Warriors Path. So the warriorspath.com, the ex-SES dude. You can't go wrong with him. He's going to point you in the right direction. As a matter of fact, he is inspiring to me too. So he always puts you back in that domain of what survival is. And that's what I'm staying within, those survival parameters. So survival walking, you're going to be like, what? Walking? Survival? But where it is fully relevant to survival is, and you'll note how I always link it back to those four essentials, is food, energy consumption. As a matter of fact, if I'm correct, Warrior's Path teaches you to conserve energy and be efficient with it, which is exactly what survival walking is about. So, survival walking, okay, in your survival journey, especially in an urban environment where there's a lot more concrete and a lot more walking involved, and especially in homelessness, walking is a staple. You're always going to walk. And lo and behold, you can actually cut your energy consumption in half. Yes, in half, even more, if you engage in something called survival walking. Now, note that it's pretty much the way I've always walked. The way you walk is detrimental to what resources are available to your body at any given time. So what I'm saying is, because people, for the most part of the day, are moving, if your body's not moving efficiently and you're very tied up on posture, which isn't a bad thing necessarily, but if you're over concerned about posture, your body's going to be using a lot more resources for that, as opposed to digestion, its general metabolism, feeding other muscles in terms of repairing them. It's going to be, because your body can only do so many things at once. If your body's trying to feed all your other muscles in the process of walking, it's going to say, no, we don't have enough time to feed these muscles for their repairing process. We need to fucking give these muscles energy because this cunt doesn't know how to walk. So survival walking is very much how I've always walked, how my grandfather taught me to walk. Yes, he taught me how to walk as a 4-year-old. Now, where can I put the phone down? Actually, I can do it in here. So, generally speaking, most adults walk. Mind you, we're using me as the primary example in this as to what perfect survival walking is about. Generally speaking, most adults have an upright posture and walk like this, with fine control. Always back always straight, but with a fine degree of control and at a rather slow walking speed. But note how there's a lot of usage of lower back muscles, even arms, trapezius, because you've got to hold all that together, quads. There's a lot of fine control. Note how I keep on highlighting fine control. It's not as good as you think, because that fine control means fine muscles are involved. Your body doesn't just have two main muscles to walk. If you use a lot more control in your walking, yes, you're keeping upright. Yes, you may be doing very well for your joints, but you're not giving your body the time to repair while you're walking, repair itself, because it's using a lot more resources for fine muscle control, and your fine muscles, believe it or not, use a lot of energy. Muscles use energy. Muscles are explosive devices. Yes, you heard that right. Muscles are bombs. That's what they are. So every time you move your muscles, it's pretty much an explosion continuously occurring. That's what actin and the filaments in your muscles that swivel against each other to contract. What actually prompts them to do so is the same mechanism, very similar mechanisms to an explosive device. You can say the nerves are the wiring. Every time your brain says to do something, that's like pressing a button, and the nerves just go, just the burst of energy is given to the muscles, and it just. Why do you think if you over stress your muscles, what do? They tear, they explode. Duh. So your muscles are a type of explosion device, and when you keep on, even when you fire the small fine muscles, you may think of them as small, but they're doing nothing less than what all the other muscles are doing, exploding. Albeit a very fine and biological explosion for the purpose of being motive. So, now note how I walk. The uprightness is there. I walk upright. That is something that is correct in any walking situation or standard walking. The uprightness is there. But I purposely walk at twice the walking speed as the average human. Not to be a macho or I'm faster. Momentum. Because of my body weight and the speed I walk, I have a unique way of throwing myself forward every time I lift my leg. That's me in slow motion. This is slow. Okay, you won't notice that when I'm walking fast. All you'll see when I'm walking fast is that. It looks like I'm jogging or running. Anybody who sees me walk in public always thinks I'm jogging. And then they realise, oh, hold on a second, no, he's moving his feet like this. That's like an Olympic fast walk. He's walking fast. So, slow motion. Throw. But you're not actually using muscles to throw yourself. The interesting thing is that throw forward is just your momentum. It's you actually releasing. It's doing the opposite. It's you not using any muscles to control yourself. See, the forward motion is there, and instead of controlling it to stop and walk slowly and efficiently, once I get here, it's let go. Let the momentum flop me forward. Now, the only thing about that is that there has to be a trade-off. A lot more pressure is used on the joints of the knee, not the back, not anywhere else. It's pretty much virtually the same. But the knee, because of the momentum and speed, takes much more toll. Okay? A lot more toll. But, like any part of your body, it gets conditioned into that. So, don't think for a second that me damaging my knees at 16 had anything to do with that. It had to do with rugby league. It had to do with the thrashing I gave my body. Because, I've been walking since and haven't had an issue. I never have issues. I never have pain in the knee from walking, and they're pretty much as good as new, my knees. I think they're better than ever now. But if you condition yourself into doing that in the long term, besides survival, just in general, your knee joints get accustomed to that. Your body can take anything if you condition it, if it hasn't passed the threshold and you condition it properly. So you may experience difficulties at first with your joints, but if you take it slow and take it easy, you'll be conditioned. And the beautiful thing is in survival, when you do something simple like that, because you're pretty much letting momentum push you as you walk. You're just catching yourself, so to speak, very, very momentarily, as opposed to fine control. If you do that in a survival situation, that means you don't need to catch 2 rabbits in 1 week. You may only need to catch 1 rabbit for 2 weeks, because that method cuts your energy usage in half or even a quarter. 3/4. I'm led to believe you could actually cut your energy expenditure in 3/4 if you do that properly and with dedication. I do it properly, but I haven't really taken it further than how I first learned how to do that. But in urban survival, especially, that is very, very important, because you want to retain as much calories as you can, whilst you allow your body to repair too. And that goes a long way in any survival situation, really.